Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Fallout Season 2 review series. This is for episode 6. I am the mutant, Travis Snell, and I'm joined by...
The okie dokie Taylor Field.
Yes, we are back. This is actually me and Taylor's first Fallout review together, so there you go. Next 2 weeks, I'm not sure, it might be all three of us, because we've got the penultimate and then the finale, so there should be some juicy ones. I think we got a juicy one to talk about today. Just to give everyone a fair warning, you will hear this coming up in the next few days, but right now patrons have access to it. In the future, other than premieres or some other finale, like final episodes, we might do some non-spoilers, but from now on, we listen to some feedback. We're trying some new stuff this year. So for the TV show reviews, we're going to get right in the spoilers. So I'm going to give a couple plugs, and then when I throw to Taylor in his overall, maybe he'll just give a brief overall that doesn't have spoilers per se, but Taylor could drop a spoiler if he wanted. He doesn't have to walk around things. So that's where, oh, it's a Travis logo. I got to get rid of myself there. I see. There you go. There you go. So yeah, we're going to try that going forward. So yeah, I'm give some plugs. Then after that, if you've not seen the episode, I'd say now for TV shows, other than for sure the premiere, if you've not seen them, and we'll try to emphasize this a few more times in the future, don't click on it because people want us to get right to the spoilers with these because they're weekly, so we're going to try that out. But yeah, lots of stuff on the feed, like I just said. Me and Taylor did it, Travis, and Taylor told you the other day where we talked about some Star Wars and some Mummy. I added a little additional 40 minutes to that episode, Taylor, last night when I recorded some Batman news, so that was a long one. Side quest with me and Dylan was a great time talking about Resident Evil, so if you love video games and franchise, and that franchise in particular, I just played 2, 4, and 8, and then I just finished 3, so I'll talk about that next time. But Lost Resident Evil talks, that was tons of fun. And then for patrons this weekend, you'll be getting the Golden Geese. That's going to be tons of fun. We're recording that tomorrow. And then also the Gimmick is this weekend. That's on Sunday, 10 a.m. PST. As far as I know, it's myself, Dave, and S-Bubs talking about some Royal Rumble predictions. And yeah, there's just tons on the feed. So subscribe so you don't miss anything. There is a review feed, so if you just want the reviews, but we got lots of stuff going on this year in general on the main feed and on the Patreon feed, tons of stuff. So we'd appreciate your support. A shout out to our Patreon producers, April of Darkness, Aaron Braden, Jack Grant, Sam, Superbad Mike, Godless69, Charlie Randall, Lenny Kravitz, Cocktail Clay, Jonathan H, and Sam Green. That is the best tier because you get to choose the content when we are making content for retrospectives or certain things where we say, hey, we leave it into your guys' hands. If it's your first time joining, you get to pick one movie. There's going to be more stuff, as we talked about on our town hall. And if you join that, you get every single episode on every feed exclusive, along with everything else, but you get up to 46 episodes. So that is pretty good. That's just for this year, too, exclusive stuff. So, Taylor Field, what did you think about episode 6 for Fallout Season 2?
Yeah, I mean, it's where we're at now. We're really picking up speed, and I feel like after last week's episode, like there's a lot that happened here, and it kind of really set me for a loop after seeing Goggins' character just be like, impaled on this spear. I don't know what the ghouls' limitations are. Again, I'm not very savvy on the Fallout universe and what the a lot of the stuff going on, but the character and like these creatures, I don't know what their limitations are. So
I feel like they can. I'm sure they can die a certain way, but I remember it was a couple episodes ago when she shot him, and she was like, "Oh, well, you can heal, and this girl can't." So I feel like they are. I'm not saying like Wolverine-esque like right away, but I think unless they get blown to smithereens or something like that, I think they can almost heal from anything. Even though in this episode it seemed like maybe he did need some help, but I wasn't sure was that person saving him, or was that just like making the process faster? That I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it because they are different things, but they both have different meanings to them.
Yeah, like could he survive without that green rock or whatever that was?
The uranium.
Yeah, the uranium.
I mean, maybe if he got his vials, but his vials, well, no, I think no matter what, he would heal, right?
Just takes a lot of time. That's
This
what
takes
I
a
take
long
it
time.
as.
And the uranium is what expedited that, is what he said. But yeah, I mean, I like Goggins' character a lot. I think he's going through a lot of tribulation. I think he's going to come out on top as a much more of like a hero after this experience because he just mentally was just broken in these past couple of episodes. And even though like we're getting a mixture between the past and the present, I'm digging it. I think it's great. So far, I've really just been loving this season a lot more than the first one, and this episode has continued to keep that trek going forward. While we didn't get a lot on the Brotherhood of Steel narrative, I'm wondering if that's ever gonna come full circle again, or if it's just
Not
done.
this season. I don't think it's done. I think because there's a Civil War stuff going on. I imagine, God, what's her buddy name there who just mutinied against them, who turned against them? Why have I forgotten his name? He's like the third lead. He was like Lucy's. Oh, it wasn't
I can't remember his
Maximus
name.
because that's who he's pretending to be. Titus, right? Titus or
Yeah.
Titan? Is it Titus?
Titus, I
Yeah,
think.
Titus. Yeah, I think we will dovetail and get back to that. Just not this season. I think eventually he will bump into those characters, maybe next year or another year. But I don't think the Brotherhood of Steel is done forever. Just maybe for now, this year.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you think, are we done with like the Kevin McAllister stuff?
I think so. I thought we weren't. I thought we'd return to that, but I'm pretty disappointed in that aspect. There's a couple things that I feel like were kind of a little bit of cock teases. I will agree with you that this general episode overall I did really like because I've had a different where I feel like it's been similar, and I've said this before that it was like with it Welcome to Derry where I was enjoying the show but not really like, oh, I got to see what's next. I will say because I already see this last week and this week I think both ended in ways that I was like, okay, I am actually very excited for what's going to happen next. Today I did watch obviously 5 and 6 back to back because I was on the review last week, but even the ending of 5 I was ready to go and get into 6. So I think for me the season is picking up, which is good. I still have overall enjoyed it, sometimes to really enjoyed it, but on that aspect the two, because I wasn't here last week, but Kevin McAllister, whatever his character was here, I don't know, maybe near the end, or maybe we bump into him, he's a ghoul in the future, but I was kind of disappointed because I liked him in the role. It was a weird like in the I guess it was just a guest spot, I guess, right? Because it was longer than a cameo, but it wasn't like long enough to be like a supporting character. So I guess it was just a guest spot where he's on for a little bit. And then the other one, because the last episode I was on, I was with Dylan, and it was when they had the Deathclaw cliffhanger.
Yeah.
That really was nothing at all last
Just a
week.
little letdown.
That was super disappointing. So the show, I think, does it a couple times where they set something up really fun or interesting, and then like, we'll get to that later. Oh, we don't know if we're gonna come back to it. Even for you, like the Brotherhood is still like, there's a Civil War, but that might be later on. Like even in this episode, I felt like we got, and I guess we can just talk about Titus because he only had a few episodes, or a few scenes. I'll just say overall, this episode, I did really enjoy it, other than a few little hiccups. But this is, I don't know which would be my favorite of the season. It might have been this week or last week, one of the two. I feel like we're building to that. But with Titus, we got him they escaped that power armor suit, and then they talked about if they're going to sell it. They're not doing that. They're by a fireplace talk. I can't remember his buddy name. If I can't remember Titus, I'm not going to remember
what
his
is
name.
his name? Yeah, because he's a ghoul now. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, which also, while he's with, I thought he was going to go back. If he's here, who's watching those kids?
Well, I guess he just left them on their own, right?
Yeah, but he was there to help like save them, right? So I just feel like he could come back and they might be like murdered or something. You know?
Shoot, they could be.
I just feel like
Deathclaw goes in there.
Yeah, the off screen and whatnot. Like I thought we were gonna get a whole half a episode of them fighting that Deathclaw, and we didn't even get like a full minute of it. We didn't got nothing, 0%. At one point when Walton Goggins got lifted up, I did think it was a Deathclaw, and I thought we were doing this stuff of, oh man, because I'm somebody. I'm sorry if people like this. It's fine. I get it. I saw all the tweets and all the think pieces of, you know what I love about Boba Fett the show? They humanized the Sand people, the Tusken Raiders. They're not just monsters, not just beasts. They are living creatures too. That's great. For me, sometimes in a world, I just need them to be monsters and terrible things. So at first when I thought it was a Deathclaw, I was like, oh no, I don't need this thing. Like, oh, that's why they didn't attack, because maybe with the ghouls there's some connection there. So we'll get to that. So I was happy that didn't happen. But, and I know, I guess I was talking about Walton Goggins a little bit here, but with Titus, oh, sorry. Anyways, that's why you can't leave them in the wasteland. They could just get killed. But
That's right.
The last episode that me and Dylan were talking about too was like, okay, obviously Titus is going to eventually meet up with Lucy and the ghoul. And we were like, oh, is that going to happen in between? That's going to be a very last thing. Would they even save that the next season? Who knows? Man, I know it was one episode in between, but it felt, I don't know how you felt. It to me felt very easy how Titus and his friend just linked up back with the ghoul.
It was very easy.
Like, I didn't get the sense of like, okay, maybe because we saw them leave, and then episode 5, I don't think last week they were in at all, right? I think they were in the back seat, they weren't anywhere. So I wouldn't. What I would have loved the show to open up with this season, or no, not this season, this episode, or somewhere in this episode, was we saw them walking, but I would have loved a montage of showing like they've been walking for days nonstop, like they've been on the move, like Frodo and Sam, and maybe I could believe it then of like, okay, they've just been moving and they got here. It feels like they haven't even got that far from the initial location. So for me, again, I don't mind that he's back with Ghoul. Obviously, they have a tenuous relationship, and I'm sure that'll mean we get Titus and Lucy again, which was like a fun, budding romance. But I that actively will take points off because I know we joke about these shows all the time, fast traveling, but with this situation of being gone for so long and so far off and a whole other thing, just to kind of almost bump into the Ghoul didn't really work for me. So how did that play for you?
I mean, I think that it was way too coincidental, and like, okay, maybe they were trying to just subtly slide it in there where, okay, get me my vials, and then dog meat just grabs the hat and then saunters off. It's like, okay, that's them planting the seed, but then he just shows up randomly at this camp where Titus is. Like, is everything just within close proximity of Vegas? Is that's how it works? Because I thought that they were really, really far away. I thought they were like in California or whatnot, and you're telling me they went all
like Titus's crew. You thought they
yeah,
were,
because they were by the ocean. There's the pier, like
yeah.
well, not just Titus's crew, but even like Vault 30, 31 to 33. Like that's really far away. But now I feel like those characters are now kind of close to Vegas too. Like
I guess because that lady that his sis, because I don't have much to add. I guess we have like a little story that has evolved there. But her brother, when she was talking to that girl, she was a part of people near the end of last season, right? That kind of exposed her dad, right? Was telling what really happened.
which characters helped expose?
So the brother, remember he was talking to that lady that was very like covered in dirt and garbage.
Yeah.
I think either that, yeah, she was a part of that kind of. She revealed the truth, right? That was part of her story.
I thought
last
so.
season?
Yeah.
Yeah. So even then, let's say, okay, her brother is they are where Lucy and the Ghoul left at the beginning of last season. To your point again, not only does it feel close, it's just I guess he's actively looking for his sister. If like this is the first time, I could be wrong, but this is the first time I recall in the show that he's talked to another character in the Wasteland that's been like, oh yeah, she went this way. So it just kind of feels like, for our point of view, the first person he's asked, like, oh, I know your sister, she's probably dead, but this one. So again, everything feels very easy, but we did get revealed that he kind of has a confidant with one of the girls in there, or confidant, I should say. They had a fun back and forth about their pets and everything, and then he has revealed to her that, okay, like the jig's up for him, and she trusts. It seems like she trusts him and gets it as far as, oh yeah, this isn't part of the plan. I woke you guys up early, because she says like, oh man, when the other people find out. And we have that guy who's been on his ass for these past couple episodes, like mean mugging him and everything. Already was suspicious of Lucy's brother. Found out, and then this episode ended with it. Not ended, but his story ended with him getting choked out. I don't think he's dead. Not that like. I know it sounds bad. Nothing against the actor. I wouldn't shed a tear if this character was gone. Like, I really don't have much. I know they got to get him back with Lucy, but I think we've all, us and the Discord, have said that I'd say 90% of this and the Vault stuff. Like, again, we got some more Vault stuff in this episode. I just don't really care that much. They just haven't made it interesting enough for me to feel invested. So, yeah, what do you think about the stuff going on with Lucy's brother? And then we got a little bit of the Vault of those two Vaults clashing there. But again, I don't have much to add for it.
I mean, I'm sick and tired of this whole like meeting thing. Like, I got my little meeting here where we're using up the water and the food, and people love the snacks. It's like, man, you guys just deserve to die at this point. Like, this is natural selection at its finest right now, right? Like, and there's only a few people here that are trying to actually make a difference and put their foot down and say, hey, this is actual survival. Like, we need to be conscious about this. And it's like, no, we're gonna have our snacks. We're gonna have all salty snacks so people get really, really thirsty because we're running out of water. It's like, oh my god. So I'm ready to kind of move on from that. But this is what I was telling Dylan last week, is that we've got a lot of different narratives going on right now. Like, I'm wondering how they're all going to tie together because now we got, Titus and Goggins' character.
Well, at least that's
Lucy
together
and her dad.
now.
That's together now.
I'd say Titus is kind of squared off, because the Brotherhood Steel thing, I'd say, is done for now, and now he's going to be back with Lucy and Ghoul. So I think that's one story down.
That's one story. And then yeah, okay, so we
Yeah.
got Lucy and the dad, and then we've got the Fallout. Sorry, the Vault Dwellers that are on their own
The
out in
Fallout
the
Dwellers.
Fallout Dweller. Yeah, so the brother dealing with the crew from Vault Tech because he got attacked, and then we're dealing with the people in the vault. So
And
Lucy's trying to take
flashbacks, even though that's
and
Ghoul's story, those
flashbacks.
are somewhat separate because you have like this storyline of Walton Goggins and his wife, right? Obviously, it's not present
Yeah.
day, but we're still getting a lot of screen time of it. So
So it just to me seems like okay, we're gonna kind of deal with like a climactic conclusion back at home base, back at the vault,
Yeah.
because we're gonna have Lucy escorting her dad back there, and I think that's gonna be a relatively quick trek. I think
is
it's
she gonna get back there? I don't think that's happening.
I think it's gonna be really really quick. I don't think we're gonna focus on what's in this vault here. I think like Barbara Howard and whatnot. Like I think that's gonna be a play like in the next season like, when Goggins' character goes back there or something like that. I think okay, what's his name? Is it Hank? Lucy's
Uh,
father?
Oh, I can't remember. I know it's Kyle McLaughlin, but I'll find
But yeah,
out.
I think so. He's gonna be. I think he's gonna properly get escorted back to vaults 31 to 33, and that's gonna in turn.
Really?
I think so because
I don't
it's
think
gonna
that at
tie.
all.
But how is like the home vaults gonna tie into the story with Lucy though? And how are like the upstairs vault dwellers that are up there with the brother? How are they gonna tie into the story now too? Right? Because I think once they maybe they see Lucy carrying like the guy her dad, and they're like, oh, you're we know who you are. Like yeah, hey boss. And then they go into the vaults and they see the two vaults at war with each other. Right? Like
Maybe. I think there's a version of that could happen with somebody. You were right. Hank is his name. Overseer Hank McLean or McLean. My worry is not worry, but I guess I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna interlink the brother storyline with the Vault people because I can't remember the specifics. I didn't rewatch last season, but some of those Vault people are the ones that put the brother locked up in that vault, right? They kind of got rid of him because he
yeah.
found the secret. So I feel that the guy who's like the big vicious, like you're lying to us, that choked him out, he could be the one that goes back to a vault or finds out what happens, and that's interlinking where they find out more about the situation in the vault and maybe they take over. I just feel like if you were to ask me, do I believe that Hank's going to go back there for judgment or die? I think he died before he got back there. Like along the way, something's going to happen. So I don't think we're getting back there, especially because it's not like that vault is looked at as like an actual good place, right? It's very iffy, and I guess you could get somewhere they go back and some join with Hank and some join with Lucy, but I don't know if I need Lucy and her whole band of people. So I feel that's what's gonna happen is they're gonna just put the brother storyline, the vault people, somehow that'll go together. But I don't think I don't think it's happening. Even right now, it seems like Lucy was having second thoughts about that, right? Because, and I wanted to ask you this because this kind of goes into me and if Hank will survive. I think it was last week when Ghoul made the deal, which I really liked. That I like that he constantly, that one time he shot that kind of innocent person that was dying. He betrayed Lucy. I like that he is constantly making choices against our main character. I feel like we see so many movies and shows and even games where the character's like, I'm a badass, I'm an asshole, like you can't trust me. But all they do the whole time is like good things. Like as much as I think Hugh Jackman as Wolverine is a great performance, but like you watch X1, like, yeah, I'm not gonna do, like he's the hero, he's trying to save people. It's like, are you really that much of a badass? Like I think every once in a while the reluctant heroes have to reluct and do something. I don't know if is reluct just a word by itself.
I don't know.
It is now because all words are made up. All of them have to do that. So I appreciate they always, right? Because especially last episode, Ghoul felt like he was being really nice to Lucy, almost over the top when he's patting her on the back. I'm like, this is odd. Like I feel like I can buy them growing together, but full on just like supporting while she throws up. But the turn, what I was going to ask you, because I didn't get the chance to listen to your guys' review, so I don't know if you talked about it. Ghoul traded, the idea was, hey, I'm assuming Hank, I got your wife and daughter. They're here, they're sedated or whatever it may be. They are here safe. If you want a chance to see them, you got to give me my daughter. Do you think that's real?
Oh,
Because I think Hank's bluffing. I don't think that's real.
you don't think it's real?
No, I'm not saying they're dead. I'm just saying he could use that information to get Lucy back. And my pitch to you is that so I could see Hank dying is Ghoul in his rage when he gets there and finds out that Hank lied and they're either dead or not there. He's going to be mad and just cap him right in the head. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, I could see that because he was ready to kill him before, right?
Yes, he was. And Lucy kind of
So-
stopped that. So,
Lucy did stop that. Yeah, so I could see that. I could see that.
so yeah, so you think there's a chance they're not there? I'm not saying they're dead, but
I don't think they got chips on their brains if that's the case.
No, I don't think so. I think it'd be weird. And my only reason is I think the daughter is still in play. The thing about the wife, and because we can talk about the flashbacks with the ghoul, the second because the whole season 1, season 2, it's the ghoul. It's Howard, right? Is it Cooper Howard or Howard Cooper? I'm mixing
Cooper.
them.
I think
Cooper.
it's
Okay.
Cooper Howard, I think.
I'm still gonna say Walton Goggins or the ghoul, but anyways, when we get those flashbacks, him being the actor, Cooper Howard, season 1, season 2, he's finding all this stuff out about his wife and everything bad she's doing. But up until this episode, they never spoke about it, right? She didn't know that he knew. So to me, before that, I always thought, oh, well, that's why I think the ghoul is going to find his wife and daughter, because he's never had that chance to motherfucker her. He's never had that chance to be like, you're a piece of shit. You'd kill these people. I don't even know you. All the stuff he said in this episode, I was waiting for that down the line, but because he said it in a flashback, now that makes me worried that the wife, because what more is there to say to her? The daughter's different, but the wife, I don't know if he's gonna ever bump into her again, or if he does, she's like even more like villainous, like she's fully somewhere else. So yeah, what do you think are the chances of, maybe not in this season, but what are the chances with the wife and the kid? Maybe they are just frozen. Maybe Hank just has them. I don't know. But what are you feeling right now in your gut?
I mean, in retrospect, I feel like her tank was empty. It didn't look like it was full, the crowd tank, if you go back and rewatch that scene, but you don't get a clear look at the daughter's tank.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. I feel like the daughter is still hanging on, and we're going to get Taylor's full answer after this ad break. And we're back. If you join Patreon, you can skip all those ads, get every episode we do ad-free. Taylor Field, final conclusion for this week. How you feeling about the family?
Yeah, I just think that you make a good point with the pre-existing conversation and him kind of letting loose on Barbara Howard there before the bombs drop. I think there's definitely wiggle room for her to kind of go down a darker path or whatnot. Although it seems like she's unstable about it, because when she had those meetings in this episode, it definitely wasn't peaches and cream, right? Everyone's talking about, oh, we could have private highway lanes for those that want to pay more to get access to like leaving the city and stuff. Oh, we got like these beacons that alert people. Da, 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 da. So she's definitely feeling the guilt and the weight of it. But now we know too that she's got pressure for it as well, right? Someone was in the elevator with her and like, will kill.
Yeah, he's from season 1. Remember that guy?
I didn't remember him. No.
Yeah, I think he got killed off, but he is from season 1, Michael Emerson. So they killed him off, but yeah, he had a role in season 1. I can't remember. I don't know if he was the head, because at one point weren't they like carrying around a head that could talk or something like that?
The scientist that was the head, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it was him.
That was him. Oh,
yeah. So that kind of tied back there of how important he was. So, yeah, and it's just because I like that she was still trying to win him back, and I'm your wife, and we love each other. I am just curious because unless they have another conversation these next 2 episodes we didn't get to see, like I said, what is the role of the wife? I understand the daughter, right? You want to save her, you love her. I'm not saying he doesn't love his wife, but if they end in this way where, hey, she maybe helped some of the stuff go down, maybe it's not the greatest reunion, or maybe it's just that it's just his wife and he knows her and he's gonna save anybody, right? You know, like it's just gonna like, oh, it's someone I know. I don't know. So let's see, was there anything? Oh, I guess we didn't talk about this big thing with the ghoul. So he's stuck on this pole for at least half the episode that Lucy kicked him onto or punched him last week with the power armor. He's stuck there. I really liked at one point, he's like, my daughter's alive, and he like hypes and adrenalines himself up, and he's pulling himself up, and then he just falls right back down, and he couldn't get there. But then, which I have to ask you, because I feel like you knew, but I knew right away. I heard the voice. The pole gets cut, someone pulls him up, there's a bunch of stomping, it's a cloaked figure, but you know who was that? You know who it was, right?
Hellboy.
Yeah, it was
Ron
Perlman. And I knew the second, because it didn't just sound like a monster voice, it sounded like Ron Perlman with a little audio enhanced or audio changed and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like this was something that we'll have to ask Dylan about next week. When he was dragging him and they just did this big wide shot, like exterior shot of a church, I'm like, this is probably definitely some location or story from the game that I have no idea what this is. Just feel like they emphasized like with his hood, he had the green skin with the location, and he had this idea that he's trying, which was interesting. He wants to go to war with the people that did this. He's like, well, they create us, and we got to kind of show them that, because you create us and did these terrible deeds, we kind of have to punish you, right? So it sounds like he wants to have maybe war against the humans, or I don't know if it's just the Vault-Tec people, but I'll say the humans. And what I found interesting is he healed the ghoul, and the ghoul said, no, like, I'm just trying to find my wife and daughter. He didn't like withhold them against his will. He didn't kill him. He just said, well, I guess if you're not with me, I can't help you anymore. And he just dumped him back. So I found that interesting of like, it seems like his motivations are kill, kill, kill. We're like, let's take all these people that did this to us. But if you turn them down, it's like, okay, well, I'm just not going to give any more resources to you, so you go away. So what do you think about seeing Ron Perlman? Because I imagine that's setting up for something, maybe season 3. Like, that's why I feel like this is a story we don't know about. Like, I don't think you could just get, maybe it's just a cameo, but I feel like Ron Perlman could have a bigger role, obviously. But yeah, what did you feel about seeing Ron Perlman in a fun little role? And then what was your take on this mutant storyline here forming?
I don't know anything about the mutants, but I remember a long time ago talking with, I think you and Dylan and maybe in Kirkland were examining things in the Follow lore a little bit, and there was a difference between mutants and ghouls and such.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of reading into it, but I don't know enough about the backstory involving those two factions. But it sounds like this is definitely not a storyline that they've introduced that you're going to conclude this season. This sounded like it was something deep. They were building up like a revolution or whatnot against, I'm assuming, the Brotherhood of Steel or something for their racist, prejudiced views on ghouls and mutants and such. So I'm down for it. I love Ron Perlman, man. He's the one true Hellboy. They got to bring him back for Hellboy 3. I don't know why they haven't yet. So
because Hellboy 2 didn't do that good, Taylor.
God damn it. But no, I think that it's. I think him being in the show is a nice treat. It's very delightful, and it's just. I think that there's a lot of. There's a lot of other exciting.
What are you laughing at over there? I'm not doing anything. What are you
no,
doing?
it's Madison's doing some eye-catching things. She's.
Oh no, Madison, put it away. Put it away. We're on air. Wait till we're off air. Hellboy oh boy, yeah, these are not good results. Well, I don't know. That's weird. So Hellboy 1 made 99 million. I thought that would have made more. It's kind of crazy. You're lucky you ever got a sequel. 99 million. The budget was 66 million. So not really much of a profit, even when you put print and advertising. And then the sequel was made for 82 to 85 million, then made 168 million. So again, kind of just broke even. So it did make more though than the first one. So that is kind of surprised, but I guess they weren't making too much money.
But then look at the one with David Harbour. That one just flopped.
Well, yeah.
There's the other one
The
after
Crooked
that. Oh my god.
Have you watched that yet? I thought it was a Hellboy person.
No, I'm gonna go back and watch the Ron Perlman one.
Yeah, I never really liked them. Those I gotta try them again. Hellboy 1 was fine. Golden Army wasn't my bag, but there were some of my more least favorite Del Toro ones. But did you ever watch the Harbor one? Because I never saw that either.
I did. I didn't like it. It was just, it just didn't jive the right way.
Okay, which sucks because I actually feel like Harbor was a good choice for like a new Hellboy, but we got the original one here. We'll have to see. I think we could maybe get like. Because there is 2 episodes, maybe there's something in the finale alluding to this character again or something, but I don't think it's anything big right now. I think it's future setting. So I am interested. So we'll see. He healed the ghoul and sent him on his way. So we'll see what happens. And then, Lucy finally with her, I think this is our last big story to talk about, was she gets there full, I like the scene with her dad. Telling him, oh, did you read the book? And I didn't have time. And which I appreciate what they're trying to go for here, and I guess I'll break down the specifics of it in a second. But he's talking about this book. He says like, oh, the moral of the story is all this violence, all these things these people do for each other, and it was really for nothing, right? And I think especially now, like the way they're posing this, because they go to his office, she's gonna arrest him, and he's fully agreeing. It's okay, that's what you have to do. He's like, oh, I respect you, you haven't changed that much, let's go out. And then when she goes on the office, she sees this lobby and whatever work office. It looks very much like old Vault-Tec where he was working, of people just doing work, happy, obeying. Obviously, we know back of the neck there's chips, but I think what that is causing is since the beginning of time, for many things, especially the Bible, there's obviously the choice of free will. We all have that, right? But then there's people, I don't think people actively argue it, but that idea of, well, is it good that we have free will if we do all these bad things, right? If we steal, we murder, all this type of stuff, like all the bad things people do, should people have the choice of free will? Because look at what they do with it, some people, right? And that's more in like a spiritual, like man versus God. This is that same argument, but instead of God or the Bible, it's like tech and sci-fi stuff. So I like that they're taking that very old argument that's been around forever, or just that thing that people pontificate about all the time when bad stuff happens, and think about, okay, instead of God, it is science, and it is people using technology. And to his point, he brought out these two people that were from different tribes. They're fighting literally to the death. They don't care what's going on. They don't care what's happening. They are trying to actively kill each other. And he tells Lucy, like, hey, if you push this button, it'll stop. And then when she does, they stop and they're happy and they don't want to kill each other anymore. They can be friendly. So that's where it is interesting. They give him a point, right? Where of course, like, we are in the side of, like, I think most people are, of like, you want people to have free will because the people that do the right things and do good things deserve that. Officers, people that abuse it like anything else. But that's where in this world it's like, okay, well, sure, free will isn't all it's cracked up to be when people are just savages and they're going to destroy one another, where hey, they might have some control under them, but my idea is we could be a utopia again. We could all be happy. You're kind of living a lie, right? It's almost like Matrix 2, right? You can live in the Matrix and eat that amazing steak, but you might not taste it, but at least you're in a steak and you got a big house. So yeah, what do you think about what's going on with this storyline with her dad? And obviously you talk about her Tatum, but what do you think about the end result here of her seeing all these people, those tribesmen? Obviously, when we first saw him, I think it was episode 1, he was working on this tech to get it perfect. Seems like he's perfected whatever he was missing. So,
Well, the thing that I was kind of confused with, because what is perfected? The only difference is he stopped taking people from inside the vault, people that were not exposed to all the mumbo jumbo on the outside, and so he's just been taking people on the outside exclusively and hooking them up, and it's working. So that's interesting, and I'm not sure why, if it's like the radiation or something like that that's kind of acting as an inhibitor, or he did perfect the technology. I don't know, but
Yeah.
he doesn't ever strike me as the guy that's kind of like. And I feel like this season has been kind of undoing the character Hank, because I just see him as being like this weird side guy, like secretary guy to Barbara Howard. He's taking notes. He's just a weasel. He's
yeah.
just like huffing and mumping around and stuff like that. And I don't feel like he's the guy that would be running the show and
He
doing
keeps
the
popping up
tests.
though. That's the thing though, in these flashbacks, right? He does keep popping up. So he's always around. So I wonder if he, in the time the explosions happen, if he learns and moves up the chain a little bit, or if he's just one of the last people that were around, or maybe he does something illegal, like get stuff or information he wasn't supposed to know. Because I agree with you, where he does just seem like, I guess I don't know how long. Oh, right, because Richard House said it was like they had a month, right? I think last episode till the explosions, because he said like moved up a month, so we don't know exactly where it is, but we don't know the exact amount of time from Howard and his wife's conversation and the bombs going off. So I guess Kyle MacLachlan could move up, but it seems that he is just as sidekick in the background. But again, he's always around though. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But
yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how he plays out.
And what do you think's going to happen? Because you think Lucy's going to take him there. So if he takes him to the vault, what's going to happen to all these people in the office?
I think they'll just keep working, right? I mean, they're just on automation. So
I think what's going to happen, in my opinion, is he's doing this as a test. He's being very appreciative. He's being very understanding, so he can try and win Lucy's trust back. And then, because at the end, near the end of this episode, when they're attacking people and he says, "Oh, touch the button," I think he's going to try to use that as like what I've talked about before, where okay, things are bad out there, and yeah, there's free will of choice, but look what we could give people. I think he's going to try and convince her, and when she's still against that, it's going to turn, and he's going to have those people turn on her. I don't think kill her, but I think he could even threaten to put that thing on the back of her neck. So that's what I feel is going to happen. He's going to try to like kind of like Stockholm syndrome her a little bit, and when she says no, then he's going to go for the attack.
I honestly thought maybe he already had it on her and her hair was covering it and we just couldn't see.
But I don't think that's happened.
You don't think that's happened?
No, not yet. I don't think so. That'd be a big off screen. Like she hasn't done anything crazy yet, right? To warrant that. Like I feel like maybe next week if she does something that's uncharacteristic, I would return back to your theory. But she hasn't done anything yet. All of it seems very in point with Lucy.
But I mean, it can be on your neck, but you're not activated, right? Like you're not
true.
doing it. So I mean, he could
So
have
you
put
think you
it
could
there.
do that, where maybe she's going to take him out the door, and then he, as the last minute, turns that on, and then that's why she can't take him.
Something like that, or we'll get a bigger we'll get a bigger moment. We'll be in like Vault 33, and like it'll be a climactic scene, and then he'll be like Shazam, and then controlling her.
I guess, but that's risky. What's gonna like? Why is he gonna control her? He could just control her not to go anywhere. He could save himself to walk.
But there's got to be a specific moment, a specific reason. There's going to be something that we just don't know yet. I feel like that's the case.
Yeah, we don't know. So, yeah. Was there anything else from this episode? Any notes or any storylines or moments we haven't touched upon?
Nope.
Nope, that's it. So, yeah, there you go. We are done for tonight. We'll be back next week, maybe with the Trinity, the trifecta, talk about the penultimate episode. I'm sure that one's going to have a very good cliffhanger. We'll see, I guess, probably what? We're going to have the ghoul, Titus, and his friend head over to Lucy and do all that stuff. I'm sure it's going to be maybe a reveal or two. We haven't seen what happens with Mr. House yet. So, yeah, we will be back next week, and I promise you it will not be boring.